Hey, everybody. So, in this period of evolution that we are enduring, we are now coming to a crossroads of our society. We're going to have to make a choice how you want to be viewed, what you have to offer to humanity, and how you can be productive and fill in the gaps where it's needed. And so, I've been studying the melanin, lack of melanin, um, just how our society has been constructed and divided, and where the inequalities are. And they are definitely in the biochemical makeup and the capacity, the intellectual capacity of a person, and what contributes to the lack of intellectual capacity and what contributes to the potential of tapping into your intellectual capacity. And that obviously is directly correlated to your microbial health, your microbial evolution. And so we are now coming upon a juncture in the road where those that have the inability to evolve are going to kind of do their last hurrah, and those who understand the ability to evolve will go through what it takes to do that. And so I could see now why we're turning more to machinery, because the machinery will do some of the basic functions that we don't need to pay a human to do, that it could provide more of an even playing field, a platform, so we can give people the opportunity to expand their brain so they could offer something to the world that is like a talent, whether it could be painting, playing the piano, acting, writing, discovering new things, in the microbiome and in outer space, inventing things. But when someone is stuck in a very repetitive job that a machine can do, how is that expanding that person's capacity? Now, I know people are going to be like, well, these jobs that are very labor intensive or very repetitive are needed. And the reason why is because it gives people, something to do. It gives them an income. But our society is changing. Okay, right now we have Amazon warehouses that need people to go and put labels on things, to separate items out, to pull items from different boxes, from different stations, and then send it off to the person. Okay, eventually even that's going to be motorized and mechanized. Okay, eventually. At some point, an innovative CEO is going to figure out that once the workforce starts dying off and there's only left, the ones that are left are the ones that don't want to do the menial labor. Why should they? If they have an intellectual capacity to do more than just menial labor, then you give them that opportunity. What the suffering in our humanity is in someone who has so much intellectual capacity, so much potential, and they're stuck doing something that is so repetitive and completely just brainless. And I'm not trying to bag on those, but that's the suffering of humanity, is taking someone who has extreme potential and stilting their potential and stagnating their potential by putting them in a job that is just that doesn't expand their horizons. And that's probably why there's a lot of rebellion in school, because some kids are like, I'm so beyond this shit that I don't even want to do this. Though, I mean, there's some of our basics that you have to do. Like, I rebelled against school a lot, but I eventually figured out that the value of it through my own methodology. But yeah, when kids try to get out of a town that is just only like a steel town or an oil town, or a town that only just works with one specific product, a factory, and they're just like, I see more for myself, then that's why we have people leaving their small towns. And so at some point humanity must evolve, and all the basic things in our society, the very basic things that a machine could do, will be left to a machine. And then the humans are now going to be forced to evolve, to expand their potential. Okay, when you're making easy money doing menial things, you're not going to want to expand. You're just going to make the money, spend it, and then go out like a rocket. that's kind of our society. Maybe that's probably what the issue, maybe that's probably why we're seeing more, well, I don't say that why we're seeing a rise in the minimum wage and the menial labor. That's also to do with people are afraid of the virus and they don't want to be in public or deal with the public because they don't want to die. And so they would rather do something else and scale down their lifestyle, which I completely understand. And so at some point, when we finally are evolving simultaneously because we're not focusing on the color of our skin and then the jobs that we're attached to, because that's usually what creates judgments is the color of the skin. People innately look at color of skin as intellectual capacity. I hope that didn't cover up. People look at the color of your skin as intellectual capacity. And so there's automatic gut reactions and judgments. And then someone will choose this person over that person. Well, if we all were in different climates and we all were adapting to the climate, getting lighter in the winter and getting darker in the summer, we would all be relatively equal because our biochemistry would be equal. We'd be equally adapting together and also tapping into equal potential. You may have a proclivity towards playing the harp, but you're still adapting to the climate and the atmosphere, just as balanced and just as the same as the next guy who is running numbers through an accounting firm. You just have different jobs. Doesn't mean that your job is any better or any worse. But the issue is the fact that we are using people for very basic stuff, and so it doesn't give these people who are doing very basic jobs any room to grow. Because when you're just happy being at one station because you're getting paid to be at this one station and you're not evolving, you're not growing, you're not expanding your capacity, then as you are dying, and you're not performing at the level that you used to, then people become malcontent. They, and they rebel. And so if people weren't dying and reproducing all the time, we wouldn't have rebellion in our society. I think that's the extent of it, is that dying and reproducing cause malcontents. You might get a cured person who's relatively happy, right, in the middle of their life, but as they are dying and reproducing, things start shifting. The biochemistry starts changing. And when you're on the decline, you're not exactly promoting too much productivity. Now it's more about balancing out the rebellion and the de-evolution, as well as the person wanting to live, but then they're doing all the wrong things to promote life in their body. And so the decline becomes faster and faster. So anyways, I'm going to go, but I wanted to acknowledge that the machinery in our society isn't bad. If someone's job is replaced by a machine, maybe that person needs to expand their potential. Maybe it's a sign that they need to do something different with their life. Take whatever stimulus check, take whatever monies that you have that you saved or whatever, and go take a coding class through Google. Go back to school and get either another trade or another degree on something that can give you another background so you can make all the connections. But the menial jobs in our society have definitely stagnated evolution, because the people don't want to evolve when they're happy getting paid $21 an hour to go bag groceries. Where's the evolution in that? That doesn't give anyone any incentive to rise above their station. And so what they'll do with that money is they'll just blow it on stupid shit. And they won't evolve, because why should they? They haven't evolved in their job, so they're not going to evolve in body, mind, and spirit, and it'll be wasted energy. And so I don't think it's bad that we're replacing people with machinery. It'll force people to potentially evolve or pass away. So I get it now. There's a bigger picture going on. But the whole melanin, priding yourself with having lack of melanin and not getting darker in the summertime, that says that you can't handle UV rays. You don't have the protection. And so those that have to wear sunblock and have to wear clothing in the sun and don't understand how to get out of the sun when it's too much and stay in the sun when you need to, that's just as bad as someone who doesn't lighten up in the wintertime. And so then they become very vitamin D deficient. And then that causes a lot of issues too, when you can't even produce calcium because you have so much melanin that it's blocking your body's ability to process your environment and evolve. And so now I understand everything. This is freaking insane. All right, bye.